If you have to direct your agency on what to do,
They're not a partner.
not a partner. They're a product company.
100%.
Paying your ad networks directly. A lot of
Oh my gosh.
A lot of agencies
so much.
A lot of agencies say, "Hey, your budget's 10 grand. Just give it to me. Trust me. I'll take care of it."
Skimming off the top. It still exists. I mean, it's been over a decade that this started. And it's
Ask your agency today. Go through and ask them how many reps are is my account manager handling? Where how do we pay our ad budgets? I mean, just ask the questions. Can I send you my OEM reports? They're not going to know what to do with them.
Yeah.
That and a lot of the other companies, I'll leave them nameless here, show canned reports or reports that always show that things are great. Everything's green. Everything is thumbs up.
It's always great. That's the kicker. Like that's actually a good point. By the way, just real quick, so I find love rabbit holes. If you currently are working with a marketing agency and every single month everything is great,
If it's not moving you more cars, more metal over the curb,
there we go. Thank you, DJ.
Welcome to the Strategy with Jason podcast. Tune in for everything you need to know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, what's going on, Podcast Nation? It is Jason Harris here, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Strategy with Jason. Today's a fun episode because I'm here in Las Vegas. It's not too hot, so I appreciate the fact it's not too hot. We're at Digital Dealer, and I'm here with the one, the only, the oh so famous. He paid me to say that. No, I'm just messing with you, DJ. I have DJ with C4 Analytics. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing well.
It's nice to see you again.
I'm glad that we got a chance to do
We've
this.
seen each other, what,
I know, that's
3
what I'm
times this
saying.
year, maybe
Like
4?
we keep running into each other at these events, and we're like, okay, we gotta find a time to record. It's gonna be one of these days. I'm glad we got to do it here at Digital Dealer, man. So I appreciate you popping up here. We have some great topics we're gonna go into. We're gonna get into kind of some marketing best practices. We're gonna talk a little bit about conferences, and we're definitely gonna talk a little bit about DJ's story for sure. Because you know me, you guys watch my podcast. I love a good origin story, and DJ's got a great one. So let's start there, DJ. For everybody out there watching, listening right now, who kind of don't know who you are, how you kind of got started in this business, what in the world made you decide to get into the automotive industry?
I guess first off, it's being a car guy, really.
Right.
I was a car guy. I mean, I was the kid that had the 6-foot red Lamborghini poster on my wall. I was all about the cars.
The Countach?
Very early on.
Right?
The red
yeah.
Countach.
Oh, man. I know the black. Okay, I know exactly what
they
you're
had
talking
the
about.
book fair, and you could buy posters there. It was a 6-foot poster over top of the bed, so it was all about cars. So I guess when you start off liking cars, it becomes easier. So parents bought me a couple of nice cars out of college. I had a C-Class, and then somewhere down the way, I had a BMW, and then, so
You just got into okay, so now I got to ask you, what are you driving right now then?
I drive a 2024 BMW iX. It's a 516 horsepower, all-electric
It is
BMW
cool.
SUV. It says 0 to 60 in like 4 something, but it feels like 3 something.
I tell
Really
you,
fast.
we've had a bunch of podcasts about EVs, man, but I'm a big fan because it's more than just a car. It's like an actual
It's an
experience.
You said it.
Right?
That's what it is.
It is.
Because in the beginning, they said it was for being green, but it's not so green when you have to pay $55 to charge your car and you can pay $55 to put gas in. It's really the same, so that's not it.
I 100% with you.
But with me, it was I've had 26 BMWs since 2005. Car guy. A lot
Yes,
of cars.
very car guy,
I've
yeah.
owned almost every BMW model there is to own. But for me, it was really about I had to lease something else.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the requirement was a minimum of 300 miles of range. In the
Okay, yeah.
beginning, the EVs.
not a lot of people were doing that.
They had the little. I even forgot what it was called. The i3. BMW
Yep,
had the
yep.
i3, but the range was like 150. Where are you
Yes.
going to go on 150?
Grocery store and back.
Yeah, so it was just a local car, and so 300 was the minimum for me. So when the iX came out, it was rated at 320. I was like, okay. But beyond that, people say, well, why didn't you buy a Tesla? What was told to me, I went to a BMW drive event in my local area in Virginia, and the guy was telling me, he said the most clever thing, Tesla was a EV maker. That's what they did. They came into this business as tech and built an EV. BMW was a car maker first that built an EV.
Yes.
So when you actually drive it, you have a real experience.
Hey, it's more like a car.
I'm not pooping on Teslas, but
No.
but when you look inside like a Y or a 3 and you see that dash in front of the driver that's just a dash with no display, boring.
I know,
Boring.
right?
BMW has a normal screen, head-up display where you can see the speed on the glass, and it's an experience.
It is,
And
it is.
500 horsepower makes it a ton of
See,
fun.
guys, you can tell DJ's a car guy. See, there we go. So, DJ, okay, so obviously that's what kind of got you into automotive. Now, what was that aha moment that said, okay, I want to really get into the
Let me
industry?
back up just a hair. So, when I was born, my family business was a convenience store in Baltimore. I was born in Baltimore. The family had a convenience store downstairs, and then 3 levels up was housing, where the 3 or 4 brothers all stayed. My father and his brothers, they all stayed. So we grew up in Baltimore City very early on. But my father moved to Richmond, Virginia, of all places, when I was 1.
Okay.
So he's always been in the grocery business, catering to customers.
Sure.
So I grew up in a restaurant. I grew up in a grocery store. My father said when I was 2, I would pull up a chair with customers in the restaurant.
So you were a
So
people person.
I was a people person
Okay.
from the beginning. So I tell everyone it's in my blood. Like I'm meant to sell something.
Yeah, yeah.
So like when my father had a grocery store, the rest of my child life, in 2nd grade, I'm on the cash register, ringing people up, giving them change. So that I got some of my math
connecting
from
with
there.
people, learning,
connecting
yeah.
with people, and dealing with numbers and stuff. So sales is in me. So I felt like it was random, but a natural fit. So when I went to college as a mass comm major.
Okay.
I went to a couple of schools, but ended up in Towson University. I graduated from Towson with a degree in mass comm, and out of college, right out, I opened up an auto parts store. Fast and the Furious was a big thing then.
Oh, yeah, man, I
rims,
remember that,
tires,
yeah.
exhausts. So what
I had an S2000. I got it. I get it.
what started for me was I had a Mercedes that my parents got for me, and I wanted to put rims on it.
Okay.
So I started calling around, and I found this one particular vendor in Ohio somewhere that got me a really good deal on some wheels. And I said, you know what? These rims are so cheap. I could buy these and flip them and make a business out of it.
Okay,
So
there
I
you
got
go.
rims for my car, my sister's car. Next thing you know, I was like, hey, send me a couple extra sets.
Yeah.
So right out of college, my parents had their grocery store. I turned their stock room into a storefront. I put glass doors on the metal doors and just and got signage and got a business license and opened up a business selling car parts to the local kids in the community.
I love it.
So that was right out of college. And then got to a certain point, the internet was getting bigger. I wasn't online.
Sure.
I wasn't taking credit cards. It was more of a
local
hobby.
thing. Yeah.
So I said, let me go with my degree. I went to the local TV station, filled out an application. I knew one of the broadcast journalists from the evening news. I see him at the gym. So I said, hey, Juan, help me out. Can you get me an interview? Yeah, easy. Done. Got me an interview. Went in, interviewed. They said, hey, we like you. We'll hire you. $6.50 an hour, 20 hours a week. Everybody starts off as a part-time production assistant.
Wow.
I was like, I'm getting ready to buy a house. I'm getting ready to get married.
Yeah, how am I
going
gonna
to live
afford
with
to live on this?
$100 a week?
Yeah.
So I went to my local BMW store because my parents had helped me buy an M3 from there. I had bought an M3 convertible.
Nice.
2004, I bought an E46 M3 convertible, Laguna Seca Blue.
Best year. Honestly, in my opinion, I know some people out there, you're M3 fans, you're going to disagree with me. I consider it to be the best one built.
What I fell in love with was the E36 M3 sedan when they first made it.
Oh, yes.
So I went to the showroom.
That style is like
I didn't,
so iconic.
I didn't have a driver's license at the time, 14, 15. I was with my parents, and I was like, oh, my God, this car is amazing.
Yeah.
And so I had the E46, and so I went to my local BMW store because of the BMW I owned. And I said, hey, guys, are you hiring for a lot guy or something? I was thinking, I'm young, out
Sure.
of college, something fun. I can drive some cars around, gas them up, that kind of thing. The general manager said, no, we got a sales job, though. He's like, when you bought your car, nobody did a delivery with you because you knew more than all the salespeople, so I would be glad to hire you as a salesperson.
Oh, dude, there you go.
So I said, let me think about it, went home, and I called him a week later and said, okay, fine,
Yeah.
let's do sales.
Let's do it.
In my mind, I had this stereotype that car sales guys are typically older, and I'm a younger guy. And I'm
Yeah, were you like going out to find a plaid jacket and all that good stuff? No.
Not quite. But so I took the sales job, and like I told you earlier, natural fit.
Oh, yeah.
6 months in.
Because your passion for cars and
and selling and people.
Oh, yeah,
and
selling and being so personable with your parents' store and stuff like that. Yeah, that makes sense, man.
So it was a natural fit. So I sold cars for 6 months, and I was on the internet team. And then 6 more months on the internet team.
That's early because that would have been when? 2005
November is when I started.
Yeah, so that's still pretty new.
Yeah.
Internet departments were really just kind of becoming a
they were
thing
just
around
kind of
then.
becoming a
Yep.
thing, and there was no templates.
No.
Everything was manual.
Just figuring it out
Create
kinda as
your
you
own.
go.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
There was no copy and paste then.
No.
It was create it. But so a year in, I was internet director, and they said, "Hey, DJ, we want you to take on a team of other internet reps, train them up, but you still sell cars." So, and then I was meeting with the GM. We were talking about closing rates and how much of the business is coming from internet that's closing in the store
Yeah.
and close ratios and that kind of thing. So,
Well, they were pretty proactive with this then, because that's 2005. They were really thinking about it. That's cool.
so like 2000, maybe 6, 7 to like 2009, I hit salesperson of the month like 21 times at my BMW store.
Doesn't surprise me.
My CSI.
All because of a 6-foot Countach
Buddy.
Lamborghini
You gotta start
poster.
somewhere.
Hey,
You gotta start
I love it.
somewhere.
I love it.
So, but what it was I got 2008 was like a stellar year. It was a tough year in the business.
the business, man. I
A lot
remember
of people
08.
felt a pinch, but
Yeah.
but of all the salespeople in my dealership, I think highest units and highest gross was me.
Wow.
For the year.
That was a rough year.
So I worked for Richmond BMW at the time, which was part of Crown Automotive. Crown Automotive had like 10 or 11 stores, North Carolina, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So they had an annual reception called the Master Sales Guild. So I got to go to that. So I got to go to Carolina, prizes, take
Mm-hmm.
my wife, dinner, the whole nine.
So you really fell in love. I mean, dude, it got into your skin and your blood at this point, right? You're like, I'm in.
That's
Let's
it.
go.
That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
when you just find your natural thing. And people asked me at the sales guild, like other sales reps came up to me and said, "Hey, I seen your numbers. They look good. What's your secret?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, really, it's passion.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about what you sell, then it comes easy.
It
But
is.
if you're
Well,
not, it's the opposite.
100%. And I'm kind of the same way, right? When I was a kid, it was all about Hot Wheels. My dad in the 80s, we sold baseball cards on the road. So that's how I learned. So similar to your story about with your parents, store.
Yeah.
That's where I learned to sell, was going to card shows, and like it was my job to like grab the young kid and let the dad talk to my dad, and I'd entertain the young kid with comic books and Marvel cards and stuff like that. It's like, so yeah, no, but dude, I always loved cars. So it's cool that we got to be able to go do what we love doing. I love being around cars, and so it was natural for me as well. So that doesn't surprise me, man.
Yeah, so I did the internet thing and did it really well. And then 09, I think it was late 09, Asbury bought our group.
Okay.
Asbury came in, 80-store group, fifth largest group in the nation.
Good
at the
operators,
time.
man. Yeah, real good operators.
So they came in and they bought our store. So they bought our group. And then they hired a new corporate structure for internet. So one of the guys from Crown was now leading the corporate internet team. And they came over to me and they said, "Hey, you're crushing it. We want to hire you in corporate. Come work
Nice.
for us at Asbury Corporate." So they told me about it kind of a little bit ahead and gave me some time to think. They said, "You're going to be traveling a little bit." And so long story short, I accepted the job and I got 13 dealerships assigned to me.
Cool.
I was responsible for all e-commerce operations, website, internet sales, training internet sales personnel, managing internet processes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I had all of Plaza Motors in Creve Coeur, Missouri, St.
Oh
Louis
yeah,
area.
yeah, I know the Plaza Motors.
So it's
yeah.
like all Highline stores
Yep.
on like really, it was like one big city block of just all their stores. Lexus, Porsche, Audi,
Yeah.
Mercedes, BMW, all of them. So I had Plaza Motors. I had Princeton BMW in New Jersey because Asbury owned Princeton BMW at the time. And then they had 3 stores in Virginia. They had, they had 4 stores in Virginia, 3 BMW stores and an Acura store.
Okay.
So I was responsible for all of them, for all e-commerce related. So I had to go to all my stores and I got to pick a home office at the one closest
awesome.
to my house and then travel around.
Yeah.
For Plaza Motors, there was a lot of work there because when we got there was no internet reps.
Sure.
We looked at the closing rates in the CRM and they were like 0.0002 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Because they weren't managing it.
Yeah, there were people, but there wasn't necessarily processes in place, right? I mean, guys, if you're out there watching and listening, I've done a lot of podcasts on that. Like this whole industry is made up of people, process, and technologies, and that all has to gel with each other. So that makes sense.
So
yeah.
initially, the first run, I went in and I handpicked salespeople and made them the internet salesperson and trained them.
There you go.
So that was just a step one. The
Yeah.
initial long-term.
Find the right people. Step one. There you go.
The long-term goal was to build a BDC. So
Okay.
I worked
Yep.
with a counterpart. I just saw him down here today, Stefan Ferry. He works for Car Wars now.
Yes, he was here the other night. Great guy.
Stefan and
Yeah.
I together created a BDC at Plaza Motors. We built it ground up, staffed
That's
it,
awesome.
trained them. Every 2 weeks I was out there with the BDC team, just making sure they're following the process. And we got that closing rate to over 10%.
Yeah.
In a short time, 6 months.
Wow.
So it was, so that was a big part of it. And then after that, working at corporate, it was great and beautiful, weekends off, all that good stuff. But then an opportunity opened up to go back into the dealership side. The Virginia stores, the 2 BMW stores and the Acura store in Richmond all went one price.
Oh, okay.
So one of the guys I met at Plaza, he was stationed there to kind of build out the stores and hire all new GMs and stuff. I met a guy there, and John was like, DJ, we need a guy down here to police this one price program, kind of
Yeah.
like an inventory director.
Sure.
He said, I think you'd be a great fit. So he talked to the GM at one of the stores and said, hey, and he talked to corporate and talked about me moving in there. And I took on an inventory director role where I got to wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Title said
Imagine this is
inventory
where you saw,
director,
now you
but
saw the other side of the operations probably in a big way on this point.
I was ordering all the new BMWs. I was doing dealer trades with other stores. I was starting to buy cars at Manheim. I was managing all the used car pricing for 3 stores where we operated on a bucket system. We changed prices on all the used cars at 15 days, 30 days, 45 days. Asbury maintained a hard 60-day turn on used cars. So if you didn't retail that car in 60 days, you had to put a sticker on it, put it out back, and they were coming to get it.
Sure.
And you would take whatever loss you take on that car because you didn't retail it. So
Yeah.
the idea I worked really closely with the GM on making sure that we were priced on the money on used cars.
Gotcha.
So when that car hit 45 days, if it wasn't your core product,
So that's what really got you into that side of the operations.
you were either even on the price or you were losing money because that retail sale is always better than that wholesale sale because
course.
you're getting your dock fee, you're getting the opportunity to collect some back end and some rate. And
So now you really got to see the process side of it because that is all process. The only way that kind of machine is consistently moving the way it needs to is you just have to have a well-developed process to do that.
So after I got in the inventory director role, then I guess they teased me a little bit, and a sales manager left, and they said, hey, why don't you take his seat? You can work up front desk deals. So I'm in the manager's role, and I was like, man, this is like a great fit, like helping other people do what I started doing years prior.
Yeah.
And it was great, but I was a manager by title, and I was doing the manager's duties, but I wasn't getting compensated as a manager.
Sure.
So I went to the GM, and I said, hey, we got to talk about this, and 2 days later, they said, hey, we spoke about it. We're going to offer you 2 options. Either we can shake hands and part as friends. You've been here 8 years, but we're going to walk away from you.
Yeah.
Or you can start off and start selling cars again.
Wow.
Mind-blowing. How do you take top talent?
You know what? That's horrible. But I hate to say it. It's not the first time I've heard a similar story, unfortunately, like that. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, but it's just, it was mind-blowing. They called another manager into the room. See, we had a BMW mini store side by side, but
Yep.
they were connected. There was a doorway in between.
Yeah.
So the mini manager, he and I got pretty close. And right after that happened, he pulled me aside and said, hey, if you want, you can just come over and sell minis with me. You can work directly with me. It's like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. It was a big demotion, but I wasn't the guy that's going to say, okay, yeah, let's just shake hands and I'll just quit.
Sure.
Because then I'm unemployed. I didn't want to be unemployed.
Yeah.
So I took the sales job, but gave myself a 6-month window to find something better.
Gotcha.
So I went and I sold minis for a year and a half, and I crushed it selling minis. I got to learn a new brand and a different
They're
customer
fun little
base.
cars, yeah.
And that's what I did for 6 months exactly. And then I had met a guy along the way. See, so when I say met a guy along the way, it really brings up a whole other point. Total off topic.
Yeah.
This is a relationship business.
100% it is. Not only just with our customers, but also internally.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Yep.
So, like, I met this gentleman years ago when I was at Dealer Track. And, not when I was at Dealer Track. Prior to, I met a Dealer Track rep.
Yep.
And I reached out to him and I said, hey, I'm looking for something else. I know inventory. I use your AAX product, which was their inventory tool at the time.
I remember that.
This.
Yeah.
I said, I know this product in and out. I said, see a couple of job postings for like an AAX rep. Can you maybe help me get an interview? Boom, interview. So the interview was for a North Jersey territory. And my wife and I, we took a ride up to North Jersey, looked at houses, thinking like, hey, if we got to move here. And I didn't like the options of where to live
Sure.
and where the reach of the stores was.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, guys, I like the job, but just if you get another territory, let me know.
Yep.
And Long Island opened up. My wife, born and raised in Long Island.
Oh, there you go.
And it was like going back to her roots. And I said, honey, what do you think? And we went and we looked at houses, and we couldn't find anything, but her parents lived up there at the time. They lived in Long Island and Amityville.
So that's home.
So we had talked to her parents, and I went and I interviewed, and before I even got dropped off at the airport, they called and said, hey, you got the job.
There you go.
So it was an opportunity to leave the store, but I had to actually move.
So that's what got you over to the vendor side. I'm curious, what got you kind of interested on the marketing aspect of the vendor side?
It wasn't. There wasn't.
It wasn't. It just kind of happened.
It happened.
That's nice.
Yeah. Sometimes certain situations just get you there. So
Yeah.
like,
But it makes sense though, because your background in the operations really got you to kind of understand what a dealership went through. Your background in internet operations really showed, well, it's like, hey, like it's the marketing that's ultimately bringing me these leads.
So when I went to Dealer Track, I did the AAX support thing. I did it for a year and a half. I moved to Long Island, and we got a house and all that. It was great, but it was too expensive. $3,500 to rent a 3-bedroom spot. It was crazy. So I talked to the people at Dealer Track higher up, and I said, hey, is there an opportunity that maybe I could relocate, take a different role, and get maybe like closer to my family, something like that? And I talked to a gentleman, and he said, hey, I have nothing right now, but maybe soon. And then within like 2 months, the guy's like, hey, I got a role. I got a key account manager role, and you can live anywhere like within this pocket, Virginia, Maryland area. I was like, really?
There you
So
go.
we went down, and I talked to my wife, and I said, hey, we moved to New York to be like, we moved to Long Island so we can be close enough to Manhattan and like to have fun.
Yeah.
So we took the opportunity, and I moved to Northern Virginia, where I live now for 10 years now.
Beautiful place.
Because when we want to go to D.C., it's only an hour ride.
Sure.
So like we're near the city, but we're not in the city.
Yeah.
We don't want to be in
Nobody
the city.
wants to be in the city.
So I took an opportunity there to do that, and then Cox bought Dealer Track along
Yep.
that way, and there were a lot of periods of layoffs and things happening, and they were canceling our jobs. They said
That's happened a few times.
They
So
told-
is that when you met C4 Analytics? And
almost.
yeah.
December 2016, they said they were deleting our jobs, so I took a job with Vin Solutions in order to stay with the company.
Sure.
I hit President's Club in 16. The only way I was going to go on the President's Club trip is if I was an employee. So if they deleted my job and I didn't find another job,
There you
then
go.
I wouldn't be going to Mexico.
Yeah.
So I went over to Vin Solutions, and then I went to the Ritz-Carlton trip and all that, and I did that for a year and a half, and then they let me go.
Yeah.
April of 18.
Yeah.
So April of 18, I find myself unemployed. Didn't expect it. Didn't know where to go. And I started applying.
Sure.
I think my spreadsheet had 200 different places I applied to.
Oh my gosh.
Places that told me like, hey, we'll give you an offer. And then it never came. And yeah, I mean, everybody knows that. Everybody has seen
Yeah,
it.
dude.
The job
A
industry
bunch of people watching,
is
listening.
tough.
That's happened 100%.
But I had a headhunter put a packet together and send it over to C4. And Mike Weiss, our co-founder
Yep.
and CEO, he's downstairs here, and he reached out to me. We set up a phone interview. We talked for, I think it was an hour and a half. First time ever. I'm sitting on my front stoop. I can visualize it now. Like I know exactly where I was at my house, and I was outside talking to Mike, and we get to talking, and he's like, Mike, I really don't know marketing. I said, I know the car
That's okay
business.
because you know people.
I know
See?
people.
Yes.
I know sales, and I know the auto industry. I know how to talk to car dealers.
Yeah. You can learn the marketing side.
And Mike was like, I don't care. He's like, can you come up here Monday and do a face-to-face interview? I went up there and I interviewed with him, one of their board members, another co-founder, another owner, and all I know is I walked out with a signed offer letter that I was starting at C4.
That's awesome.
And now here we are 7 years and 1 month later, 7 years and 2 months later, and I'm still here.
So let's get into a little bit of C4 because, when I think of, I've admired and have talked to a lot of dealers that work with you guys. So I admired this whole kind of partnership approach that you guys have taken. I'm a firm believer. In fact, you guys, if you're out there watching, listening, I've said this many, many times that, marketing can't be a proverbial checkbox, right? You really do need to partner with a company or with someone that, really truly does understand your business, understand the nuances, gets involved in the key objectives and goals and works backwards towards, marketing strategies that are going to support that. So just give me kind of that 30,000-foot view of what C4 does for dealerships.
Yeah, there's plenty of vendors out there.
tons.
There's vendors out the yin yang.
Yes,
but
about 100 of them downstairs right now.
but it's really with us. We look at it as having a trusted partner.
Yeah,
You can have a vendor just to check the box. Hey, I got a marketing partner, check, done.
Sure.
And then you tell the boss, hey, we got a partner, great. But it's someone who wants to see the vision with you on, hey, where are we today? Where do we need to be? How are we going to get there? Okay, we want to be in lockstep with you and see you through that journey. Mm-hmm. So like real case story, we worked with a dealer in New Jersey, a Honda store years ago.
Yep.
And the dealer was number 9 when he started with C4. And when I was there, I think the top position he got to during the pandemic was like 3 or 4 in the country.
Wow.
So it's not just like, hey,
That's partnering with their
help me
success.
sell 5 more cars,
Yeah.
help me increase 5 more places in my national ranking. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. So most vendors, most
Yes.
marketing vendors want to meet with their dealers once a month.
Sure.
They book that first call, first week of the month. Hey, what are your programs, rates, incentives, offers? Okay, great. I'll get them on the website. Thanks. See you next month.
Yeah. Or
That-
the worst thing they do is they'll ask you, what do you want to do?
That is in our pitch.
literally hate
If
that.
you have to direct your agency on what to do,
They're not a partner.
not a partner. They're a product company.
100%.
So it's really about, like I said, it's looking at that holistic view, coming up with an actual strategic marketing plan, which is different. So we meet with our dealers weekly. So everybody else can do the monthly thing weekly. I talked to a dealer down here who says, man, I love my weekly calls. So we meet with you weekly, but it's not just meeting weekly and, hey, what are the numbers? It's, hey, let's look at your Google Analytics. What's working? What's not working? Do we have some campaigns that are maybe not performing the way we wanted them to?
Yep.
Hey, let's pause that campaign. Let's shift and reallocate those dollars somewhere else where they're more effective.
Yeah, how is it actually translating out to the dealership? I hate to say it, but, and guys, you've watched my podcast, I've said this a bunch of times, right? For the last decade, we put so much emphasis on CPMs and CPLs and CPL. It's so many three-letter acronyms that it's just like at the end of the day, it's like, how many people are coming through my store? Who's coming?
I was going to say
in,
that and a lot of the other companies, I'll leave them nameless here, show canned reports or reports that always show that things are great. Everything's green. Everything is thumbs up.
It's not always great. That's the kicker. That's actually a good point. By the way, just real quick, so I find love rabbit holes. If you currently are working with a marketing agency and every single month everything is great,
If it's not moving you more cars, more metal over the curb.
there we go. Thank you, DJ.
No, but I talk to dealers day in and day out that tell me, hey, everything they show me is great, but it's not selling me more cars.
Yes.
Because
that's the real ROI right there. That's it. I need to move metal, and marketing 100% can help with that. But you got to partner with a dealership to understand.
So like you said, moving metal. So our 3 main objectives that a dealer should see when they're working with us.
Okay.
Increase in sales is number 1. More phones ringing, more people coming into the dealership.
Yep.
Increase in market share. So when we look at a dealer's dealer's regional rankings report, where you and the other 15 dealers in your market, where are you today? And where would you like to be?
That's really moving the needle. That's not.
So-
that's not. Look how many millions of impressions we got you last month.
Increase in sales, increase in market share, and at the same time that we're accomplishing those two, lower in customer acquisition costs.
And I love the fact that you bring in market share, right? Because again, everybody
It's
out there
whole-
watching,
it's
listening
whole
right
picture,
there,
full scale.
It's the North Star of what all of your processes, your marketing strategies, every dollar you're investing into it should be a North Star of increasing your market share. And that can be a market share within your own brand. There's 2 different market shares, right? You have your market share within your own brand, and then you have your market share of the 9 or
percentage of
10
your brand
dealerships.
versus other brands in your market.
Yeah, the other 9 or 10 brands that are in your market, right? And you got to look at both, right? And that truly does tell you as a business owner, if the time, money, and effort that I'm putting into it, we're moving the needle here. And dude, I actually just found out recently there's a certain OEM that I won't name. It's actually stopped reporting on market share.
I'd be calling somebody and ask them to put a report together for me on the side there.
I would be like, it's that bad? You don't want to report? Anyways, I digress. Sorry, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I just totally lost the train of thought on where we were right there.
Well, let's get into some best practices.
Yeah, exactly. So rooftop count. So when we do our presentations with our dealers, our intro presentations, rooftop count is like the first thing. We are 10 rooftops per account manager. I know for a fact in my previous days at my last company There are other companies in my space that 80 to 90 rooftops for account manager is the norm.
There are still companies
I
out
have
there that
people
operate like that.
I have a friend, industry buddy, who called me, who works at one of my competitors. He says, DJ, we're at 60 to 70 accounts. This is crazy. So picture this. The same thing I tell a dealer. If I've got to talk to you and 79 other people every month, how much time do you think a vendor's really going to give you?
How intimate can I get with your operational goals and objectives when I got 70 or 69 other, companies that I got to be contacting and doing as well? It's just, no, you're right. That does say a lot. That's a proverbial checkbox.
It allows for a truly high-touch, white-glove experience where I can actually have time to develop a relationship with you. All of our account managers are fully Google certified. Everybody's certified in all the different disciplines of Google. But one thing on the Google part. So one thing we did a long time ago, Google used to have an AdWords call center in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
I remember that, actually.
When they moved it to Detroit, a bunch of the guys didn't want to go because of the relationship C4 had with Google. We hired 19 folks, guys and gals, out of the Google office.
Good call.
And they now work at C4, and we built an office for them right there in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So you're talking about some of the best and brightest guys and gals that are managing our dealer ad dollars right there in Ann Arbor. So when we mention Google, I always have to touch on that because it's a differentiator. It's a key differentiator.
100%. Experience is everything. I think in marketing, experience is everything. I mean, it's just like, yes, there are buttons and levers that we have to push. By the way, there's no magical one. So when a dealer, you call your company, you're like, can you just turn that up? It doesn't exist. But I wish there was. I wish there was.
But a lot of other companies will only really have like one certified individual at the very top. And then they have 100 employees down below that are just catching their knowledge from the top. But it's like... You can't really do the same job if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, and you can't embrace that whole partnership mentality if you're not going to be giving a well-experienced individual as a key contact person in that dealership.
And then from there, OEM reports. So I did a speech at NAMAD earlier this year, and OEM reports. So I asked the question to the whole audience: how often do you send OEM reports to your current marketing partner? And nobody raised their hand. Not surprised.
That's crazy.
So we ask for pump in, pump out report. We want to see who's eating your lunch in your market. We want to see sales by zip report. We want to look at market master data. We want to incorporate as much data. It's already out there. You just have to harness it and utilize it. We want to incorporate that data into your marketing strategy so we can make a better decision of when to get in front of her with the right message at the right time and at the right cost. So we're looking at all the metrics all the time. Like, we want to make sure that everything's done right. There's no blanketed campaign. I mean, there's people that run blanketed campaigns.
There's definitely some blanketed campaigns out there, but no, I hear what you're saying. Like, it's just like, and that's the thing. I mean, look, I went to school for marketing, so as a dealer, yes, 100%. I did a lot of my own marketing. But the complexity of today's marketing, if I was back owning a dealership, I would have to find a trusted partner. Everything from just opportunities in data. I mean, it's endless, the amount of different data sets, but then finding out what's real, what's fake, the opportunities not just in a channel approach, but a fully integrated approach, tracking customers beyond just Google, but across multiple channels. That's a lot of work, and you just have to find a partner that's going to help you with that. I couldn't imagine trying to do it myself now.
And I guess one of the last more important things is paying your ad networks directly. A lot of a lot of agencies
Thank you so much.
A lot of agencies say, "Hey, your budget's $10,000. Just give it to me. Trust me, I'll take care of it."
Off the top, it still exists. I mean, it's been over a decade that this started, and it's still. Anyways, continue.
We take a dealer's credit card, put it on file at Bing, at Google, at Facebook and YouTube and all the different ad platforms.
So that their spend is their spend.
Their spend is their spend.
Yeah.
We charge management fee, but it's
of course
it's post month afterwards when we know the spend amount.
Yeah.
If I give you an ad budget of $10,000 and charge a management fee on $10,000, and we get halfway through the month, towards the end of the month, and you only spend $7,500, how am I going to know? How often does the agency give you a refund, Jason? Hey, Jason, I didn't spend all of it. Here's $2,500 back to you.
Well, and also, you tell me where you've ever seen any one of those channels stop exactly on $1. Like, it doesn't happen. Like, I've helped dealers spend $10,000 a month for years and hundreds of dealerships out there, right? But I'm telling you right there, no Google or Meta or any of these are going to stop. Boom, right there on the dot. It's just not possible.
And I've heard some unfortunate horror stories from colleagues and industry friends that they've worked at places in the past where they get to the end of the month and they're like, "Hey, we got $3,000 left. Let's just put it here." like where it's not beneficial to the dealer.
But
But you already have it, so you want to use it. So the only way to maintain true transparency is pay the ad networks directly.
Yes.
So when you start linking up all of the things we do, we're talking weekly, low rooftop count, Google certified, you're paying the ad networks directly. These are the differentiators. Like everyone out there, ask your agency today. Go through and ask them how many reps is my account manager handling? How do we pay our ad budgets? I mean, just ask the questions. Can I send you my OEM reports? They're not going to know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So we have a sheet, like if you see me here at the show, we have a sheet that says questions to ask your agency, and it's just all these questions. Just ask your agency. Just ask them point blank, hey, help me fill in these blanks. And if you're not happy with any of those answers, come talk to me.
Well, see, and that's the key, right? I mean, I think for everybody out there watching and listening right now, that's the key. Like, you have to have an open conversation when, the market share just wasn't quite there, or, things are changing on a regular basis. I mean, we learn more from failures than we do from success, all right? We shouldn't be afraid, and I think that's important when you actually find a good partner. You're not afraid to, let's try that. We haven't really invested much in TikTok, but let's give it a shot. And we're not going to go all in on it, but let's give it a shot. Let's look at the data and let's work backwards and see if that's something that needs to be a part of your mix, and so on and so forth, right? So,
and I guess a side part is a lot of folks out there, dealers, they want to work with somebody that's partnered with their OEM. So we're up to 15 OEM partnerships now, and
there you go.
We've got some success stories with some of them. I mean, Ford openly came out with a recent success story.
I saw it. I remember what you're talking about, yeah.
So they say the average Ford dealer misses their objective by 6 units. The average Ford dealer that works with C4 exceeds their objective by 5 units. So let's do the simple math. It's an 11-unit swing. And if
between the ones that aren't, that's pretty funny.
and if it's 1-to-1 new to used, then that's a 22-unit swing.
Yeah,
new and used. So this is directly from Ford. Like the dealers that use us, they run about 31% leaner on their ad spend.
Yeah.
Over all the OEMs, most of our dealers, we surveyed 700 dealers that utilize C4 because of how we do things, following Google best practice, smart people, and tech. Dealers tend to run about 31% leaner with us.
Well, look, we're a people industry. We say this all the time. You hear this on a lot of talks on big stages across the country. It is a people business. But then I look at, to your point, the agency side, and it's like, I love the fact that you guys have taken that same mentality as we have as dealers and really focused on the people, finding the right people, training the right people, and giving them the time necessary to connect with their dealers on a regular basis. Look, I know we're getting kind of towards the tail end of our conversation today, but before we kind of get to the end there, I did want to talk about this bad boy right here, because can we hold that up so everyone can see that real quick? So this is DJ's book. Dude, I applaud you. I've been meaning to write one for a long time, and but hey, an idea is only as good as how well you can execute it. Great book. Tell us a little bit about it and how people can get it.
It's after I got let go from 2 jobs, I was like, okay, so like you get let go once, it's like, okay, it's one time. But when it happens multiple times and the reasoning seems to be the same, it's like, okay, there's something here. So at that point, I just, before I got hired at C4, I made the decision to write a book. And I was like, hey, man, I'm not working now. I got time. Let me write a book. And after I got hired here, it ended up being 2 years and 5 months writing this thing.
That's cool.
I thought I was going to write it in like 3 or 4 months. Yeah, right. You have all these ideas, and it's really, outline and breaking it all out. But so I had some tough times in automotive, yes, but I also had tough times like in my family and my culture. I'm Indian. I'm American-born Indian. Parents from India, not feathers. I got bullied in kindergarten about being Native American.
I imagine.
So the book really goes into my childhood, how my family came to this country, and the challenges I faced in school, the challenges I faced growing up, getting bullied, all that. Then getting married. When I wanted to get, I told my parents, I even told my now wife when we were friends in high school that I'm going to get an arranged marriage. I'm Indian. My parents are going to take me to India. They're going to help me find a bride, all this stuff. And then, so I don't want to spoil it too much, but the story of how I met my now wife and the challenges because my parents didn't want me to date somebody outside of my race, that whole thing is in here.
Yeah.
Like it's our co-founder, Justin, read an advanced copy of my book here, and he wrote the preface of the book, and he said that was his favorite chapter, the chapter of how I met my wife. So it's just a good read, but it's meant to maybe inspire someone in a similar situation, someone who's going through what I went through already, and there's some takeaways at the end of every chapter, like my observation of what happened in this chapter, maybe something I could have done different, and like my whole thing in working is like planting routes. I don't work anywhere to hop.
Yep.
I've seen plenty of resumes where people in the last, I can't even do the math, 2005, 20 years I've worked in
20 years.
20 years I've worked in 3 places.
Yeah.
I have friends that have worked in 10 or 15
easy.
in that time.
Yeah.
So like with me, it's always about going somewhere and just like stretching, planting roots, and being there.
That's awesome.
Like when I started here, the founders here told me, hey, we don't want you to leave. I'm like, hey, keep me happy, I'll be here.
Yeah.
So yeah, the book is just about my personal experiences.
Well, how can people get a copy of it? How can they learn more about it?
So I purchased my name, DJSardana.com, DJSARDANA.com.
We'll make sure to include that in the notes.
You just type that in, and it goes straight to Amazon. This is an exclusive through Amazon. You can get Kindle, paperback, or hardback right there on Amazon. If you see me at the shows, bring it with you. I think I've signed 40 copies to date, where people will get it and bring it to me, and I'll sign it for them. But it's just a book about my experiences so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made.
That's awesome, man. I love it. See, this is what I love about you, DJ. You care a lot about the industry, you care a lot about people. You just love to see both people and dealers and business just do better, man. It just, I know it gets you jacked, it gets me jacked. That's why I think that's why we connected, man, because it was just like, yes, we're in that same mindset.
I just told a guy in the airport the other day, it's free to be kind.
That's a good one.
I'm in the line to get on the plane, and the pilot comes up from, I guess, his walk around, and he's like waiting. I'm like, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, hop on the plane. And he went in front of me. I'm like, it's free to be kind.
Yeah.
Like,
It
really.
ain't going to cost you anything.
It's
I love
insane.
it. I love it. Hey, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's episode. Hey, one of the biggest compliment you can give, me and DJ as content creators is share the show. Okay, if you got a friend or a colleague or a manager that needs to see some portion of today's conversation, share the show. It's literally the biggest compliment that you can give us. DJ, man, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. For everybody out there watching and listening, we appreciate you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thanks for tuning in to the Strategy with Jason podcast with your host, Jason Harris. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.